are going to see the testing equality of two population means. So when we say where two population means, it means we need to consider the two different and independent populations. So here we consider that there is normal population with mean mu1 and variance sigma 1 square, and another one is again normal with normal distribution with mean mu2 and variance sigma 2 square. So first sample we taken from of size n1 and taken from normal mu1 sigma 1 square. If we know that there is sigma 1 square, it means we know the value of sigma 1, it means standard deviation. In the same way, we have considered second population of size n2 from normal population with mean mu2 and variance sigma 2 square. If variance sigma 2 square is given to us, it means we know the standard deviation sigma 2. For both the samples, we have sample mean x1 bar and x2 bar. x1 bar and x2 bar. Okay. So when we have testing of hypothesis, first need to set up the hypothesis H0, which means there is no difference. It means we consider that whatever the population, two different population, independent population we consider, their mean are same. There is no difference in the mean. So this is our null hypothesis, which is fixed for two population mean, testing of two population mean. Against alternative hypothesis, we have alternative hypothesis. Now there may be three cases. Mu1 may not equal to mu2, mu1 less than mu2, or mu1 greater than mu2. So in this case, as I taken it in previous video, when this is the condition, here we apply two-tailed test, and for these two conditions we apply one-tailed test. Okay, and here the level of significance is given in the example, or you consider as 5%. Here level of significance we consider as alpha %. Okay. Now we need to decide the test statistic T. Test statistic T. So we consider here sample mean x1 bar minus x2 bar as our test statistic. Okay. And again we need to apply the Z test. We need its mean of test statistic x1 bar, expectation of x1 bar minus x2 bar. So its mean are mu1 minus mu2, and variance will become variance of x1 bar minus x2 bar. Its formula is variance of x1 bar plus variance of x2 bar minus covariance of x1 bar, x2 bar. It's 2 times covariance. 2 times covariance of x1 bar, x2 bar. Okay. So we put the values of variance of x1 bar. As we know, the variance of mean is as x1 bar is first sample variance is sigma 1 square, and its size is n1. So our variance of x1 bar is sigma 1 square upon n1. Likewise, we have variance of x2 bar as sigma 2 square upon n2. Here both the populations are coming from independent. Both the populations are independent, and therefore there is no covariance between x1 bar and x2 bar. We have taken two different independent samples, and therefore the covariance term is vanished. It is 0. Okay. So our variance of x1 bar minus x2 bar is sigma 1 square upon n1 plus sigma 2 square upon n2. This is a combined term. We cannot separate it. Okay. So this is a combined term for variance. Now we go to the test statistic. Here our test statistic is x1 bar minus x2 bar. So our general formula for z is t minus its mean divided by its standard error. Okay. So we put t as x1 bar minus x2 bar minus its mean of x1 bar x2 bar divided by standard error of x1 bar minus x2 bar. Correct. So put all these values, x1 bar minus x2 bar as it is, minus mu1 minus mu2 and divided by its standard error. It means sigma 1 square upon n1 plus sigma 2 square upon n2. It's under root. It gives us standard error of x1 bar minus x2 bar. Now we have we consider that our h0 is true when we solve the example. Okay. So under h0 we'll take all the values. In h0 here we have mu1 is equal to mu2 and therefore if we consider here h0 under h0 this term will get 0. Okay. So under h0 our z will be x1 bar minus x2 bar as it is divided by this term will get 0 because mu1 is equal to mu2 we consider in our h0. Okay. So here sigma 1 square upon n1 plus sigma 2 square upon n2, it's under root. And now this follows standard normal variable. Okay. So this is our test statistic to compare or to test the equality of two population mean. Now next we need to calculate critical region for two-tailed test and one-tailed test. For h1 mu1 is not equal to mu2 or here it is what? Two-tailed test. For two-tailed test our critical region is mod z greater than z alpha by 2. Here we have two-tailed test and therefore we have the value or we see the value alpha by z alpha by 2 at given level of significance, alpha percent level of significance. Correct. What does it mean? It means if your calculated value, whatever you calculate by the formula, if this value is greater than your tabulated value, means the table value like suppose for 5% z alpha by 2 is 1.96. Correct. So you compare for 5% level of significance, you compare your calculated value with 1.96. Okay. So if calculated value is greater than 1.96, then you reject your h0 at the given level of significance. Okay. So here at 5% level of significance. It may be accepted at 1% or 10% likewise. Therefore, it is needed to write at what percent you reject or accept your hypothesis. Okay. When we reject our h0, it means we otherwise accept it. Otherwise accept it means what? If this calculated value is less than tabulated value, then you accept it, means accept your h0. Okay. When we reject h0, it means we accept h1. So whatever you place in h1 in your alternative hypothesis, you just conclude according to that. according to your alternative hypothesis. Now for second case, if for suppose mu1 is less than mu2, it means one tail test we consider. One tail test. So for if mu1 is less than mu2, our critical region will become z value less than minus z alpha. Alpha when you have one tailed test. Okay. So when less than sign is there, so you compare with less than minus z alpha value. Less than minus z alpha value. And in this case, if whatever your z calculated, if it is less than minus z alpha value, you need to place their minus sign in front of your z alpha value at alpha percent level of significance. Okay, if this is the case, then reject H0. Then reject H0. Otherwise, accept it. Correct. And if your mu1 is greater than mu2, it is again one tail test. Okay. So your critical region will become, if your z calculated is greater than z tabulated, or tabulated means alpha, whatever the value of alpha percent, at that case you compare with z calculated with z tabulated. Then if this is the case, if your calculated value is greater than tabulated value, then reject H0. Reject H0. And otherwise accept it. Now in both these cases, there is some confusion when comparison, at the time of comparison. So another way that you consider only this mod of z calculated if your calculated value is greater than z alpha. For one tail test also you can compare this only for critical region. Critical region. So you can compare mod z calculated value. If it is greater than your z alpha, for one tail test you need to take z alpha. Let's suppose you have 5% alpha value, z alpha is 1.64. So compare calculated value with 1.64 for one tail test. If it is greater than, calculated value is greater than tabulated value, then reject H0. Reject H0. And when we reject H0, it means we accept H1. Reject H0 at, please write down at 5% level of significance or alpha percent level of significance. Otherwise, accept it. Otherwise, accept it.